Hey guys, this is Greenwood back with another Warframe video. This is an update to videos I've done in the past about where you can find the various Warframe parts. This is current as of update 17. There's not a lot of changes, but there's been a few. Update 17 is out on the PC. It's not out on like the PS4 and the Xbox One just yet, but it shouldn't be too much longer. But anyway, I'll get right to it. Mercury doesn't have any Warframe parts. On Venus, if you go down to Fossa, you fight the Jackal, it'll drop Rhino parts. Earth, you come over here to Oro and you fight the Vahek Terraframe. He drops the Hydroid parts. Over here on Mars, you'll come to War. There it is right there. And normally you would fight the Sergeant, which would drop mag parts. Now it's actually taken over. There's been an infested invasion, which actually I guess is kind of a good thing because it shows that basically when there's invasions and it takes over an assassination node, it becomes a Phorid. And the level is, dependent. I mean, sometimes the Phorids will be like a 35 to 38 or something. So, if you can get it on the lower nodes, it's easier. But anyway, and Phorid drops the Nyx parts, which is the only way to get the Nyx parts. But anyway, yeah, normally, like I said, you would fight the Sergeant on War for the mag parts. Then you move over to Jupiter, you fight on Themisto, you fight Alad V. He drops the Valkyr parts. On Saturn, you would fight Sargus Ruck. On Tethys, he drops the Ember parts. Uranus, this is one of the changes they've made. You come over to Titania, you fight Rhaegor. He drops the Equinox parts. He used to drop the Ash parts, but they've changed that now to where he drops the Equinox parts. And the Ash parts now drop from the Grineer Manics. Those guys that sound like the Joker, to be honest, because they start laughing. You hear their laughter first, and then you see them and they're teleporting around. It's like black, white, and red. It's like their kind of color scheme. But anyway, yeah, like I said, you fight on Titania, Rhaegor, the Equinox parts. Then here on Neptune, you fight on Psamathe, you fight the Hyena pack, and they drop the Loki parts. Pluto, fight Hades on Hades, I should say. You fight Ambulance on Hades. He drops the Excalibur parts. Here on Ceres, you go on Exta, you fight Lech Krill. He drops the Frost parts. Eris doesn't have anything. Sedna, you fight on Merrow, Kayla Dethane. She drops the Saryn parts. On Europa, you fight on Naamah or whatever. The Raptor is the enemy, and it drops the Nova parts. The Dojo, once you research, you gotta research and then buy the blueprints. Basically, then you can make them. There for the Volt, the Banshee, and the Zephyr. It makes those, it takes time to get those frames, but it makes it easy. Basically, Void is of course where you get all the prime parts. At least for now, there's debate about their changing the star chart, but who knows how long that'll take. Anyway, on Phobos, you fight on Iliad, and you fight Lech Krill and Captain Vor. They dropped Trinity parts. On the Derelict, you can go into the market and you can buy a blueprint to make Orokin Derelict Exterminate, Survival, and then there's also Orokin Derelict defense keys. I don't have any defense keys right now made up. And as you're playing those missions, you will get Golem nav coordinates, which you use to make the Orokin Derelict Assassinate keys. You would fight Lephanus, and it drops Nekros parts. Then that basically brings us to the beginning. To get the Mesa, the Chroma, the Limbo, and the Mirage frames, you need to do quests, and there's varying degrees of difficulty. The Mesa is the one that might take you the longest because you got to wait for an invasion to show up of Mutalised Alad V key or part, and then you make 3 of those Mutalised Alad V coordinates, I should say, and then that makes 1 key. And then you fight Mutalised Alad V. He drops 1 of the Mesa parts, but you want to have a lot of keys because it's not always a guarantee what part's going to drop. I got lucky. I think it took me about 7 or 8 tries. I got all 3 of the Mesa parts. But I've heard of some people playing 20 times or something, and they still are missing the Mesa systems or something like that. But anyway, the Oberon parts they drop from the Eximus. Those are the guys that are glowing red. I've made videos on them before. Eximus can be any enemies in any faction, if you will. But if you don't know exactly what an Eximus is, you can look in my other videos. I've done a video about an Eximus. If need be, I can make one about the Manic, the Grenier Manic, to drop the Ash parts. Then, like I said, Nyx drops from Phorid, and the Invasion Assassinates. Now, Vauban is tricky and probably will take the longest time, because the only way Vauban parts drop is through alerts. So you'd go up here and it'd say alert, such and such, whatever the planet was, a node, and it would, one of the rewards would be a Vauban helmet blueprint, for example. But you got to get lucky, because this is the stuff they it's all random. They put up the alerts at just seemingly like I said, at random times, so it might take you a while. So basically, if you get a Vauban, if you ever think of you might use him again, don't ever sell him, because it'll take forever to get more parts. Probably. I mean, you could get lucky, I guess, but probably take a long time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Like I said, this is current as of update 17. If there's any more changes, I'll make more videos and stuff about that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.